Hello everyone, my name is Tristan. This is Elspace Books. Welcome if you're returning, and of course welcome if you're new. I have a quick tag video for you. It's the rapid fire tag, which is supposed to be quite quick and one that you are supposed to do really without reflection. So I was tagged by Catherine over at Raspberry Reads, and this tag was originally created by a channel that is no longer active, but it was created by GirlReading. So let us get into these because, again, this is supposed to be a quick tag. So, question number 1, ebook or physical book? Physical book for sure. Don't really love ebooks. Paperback or hardback for question 2, and that is definitely a paperback situation. I don't love dust jackets. They tend to be more of an obstacle to reading than they do really anything else. Although I will say, when it comes to paperbacks, I don't like the ones that have the sort of cut off front cover that opens up onto a publicity page, basically, where it says in bright yellow or bright some neon color, like New York Times bestseller type of thing. Don't love those, but we're all picky about things, aren't we? Question number 3, online or in-store book shopping? Okay, I think I have evolved from loving to do in-store book shopping. I used to just go into stores and browse for a long time and then, come away with a lot of new books and books that I might not have tried otherwise. But that was when I was first getting into reading and my tastes hadn't really developed, and I was sort of just trying to taste everything and sample everything on the menu, as it were. But now I still prefer to go to bookstores in person, especially when I know that the bookstore is going to have a particular book, but because my reading tastes have become a little specialized now, there are some books that are no longer in print that I have to get used, and so I usually use something like Thrift Books or betterworldbooks.com to get those. So I do kind of a little bit of both, but what's ended up happening is I've ended up doing a lot of online book shopping, but such is life. Things change, right? Okay. Number 4, trilogies or series? I mean, aren't trilogies a series? I mean, it's going to be a series because my favorite books in general are the Discworld books. So that's a series. So yeah, series, not trilogy, I guess. Number 5, heroes or villains? Oh, villains, absolutely. I mean, ever since Ursula was a thing, ever since Ursula descended down from her shell cave into my life, she was my queen. And I love a villain. I really, really love a villain. That's one of the reasons why I liked The Lies of Locke Lamora so much, was because of how detestable that villain was, and I just really loved that. So, it's pretty happy with it when there's a good villain. Okay, next. Number 6, a book you want everyone to read. Okay, so I will have to do... Okay. I'm looking at some of the other ones. So I'm going to pick 2 for that one. One of them is going to be Still Life by Sarah Winman. I think that that's a book that everyone should read. I shout it from the rooftops, from the mountaintops, every chance I get, because I think it's just such a powerful and impactful book that is just so beautiful, and I think it's just lovely. And the other one is Small Gods by Terry Pratchett. That is kind of the most standalone of his Discworld books, and I don't see it talked about a lot on more I guess, what you probably call mainstream booktube, because you see a lot of things like Guards or Equal Rights or Mort. Those are all ones that are quite common to find when it comes to Discworld, but I think Small Gods is really one that everyone should read as well, because I think it's just really important, especially now, given everything that's going on in the world. Okay, next. The recommend an underrated book. Okay, I think I'm going to use underrated as just one that doesn't ever appear anywhere, and I'm going to choose Jay's Gay Agenda by Jason June. It's a really nice YA queer coming of age story, and yeah, it's funny, it's cute, and it has this gay agenda motif where it's literally an agenda of like a list of things that Jay wants to accomplish after he has like come out and living in a gay city. It's really fun. Number 8, the last book you finished. I think it was actually The Sea by John Banville, which I listened to on audiobook and quite liked. It's quite enjoyable. It's also one of the Booker winners, and yeah, I definitely think it's a complex book that I wish that I had read in physical format as opposed to audio, because it's one that really warrants a lot of reflection. So I will probably come back to that one at some point in the physical format, because yeah, it's really a lot to it. Okay, the next one. The last book you bought is, I believe I might even have it here. Perhaps not. I think it might actually be In the Band Played On by Randy Schultz, which is Politics, People, and the AIDS Epidemic, which is a just gigantic history book of the AIDS crisis, and Randy Schultz was a reporter during that time, and so this is kind of his, or he was not a reporter, he was a journalist during the time, and so this is kind of a culmination of all of his writings on the AIDS crisis. So that is one that I have. Interesting that it says that it's now a major TV movie, but anyway. Okay. The weirdest thing you've used as a bookmark. Another book. 11. Used books, yes or no? Definitely used, because again, like I said, a lot of times the books that I gravitate toward are ones that are out of print or very hard to find, so I get them used. And also, it's sustainability, all of those good things. Top 3 favorite genres for question 12. I think it's going to be literary fiction for the top one, because that's the one I tend to gravitate toward, and like within that it would be like queer fiction, and because I think people tend to put like LGBTQIA+ as a genre, but a genre with, or like a subgenre within literary fiction, so like that, but literary fiction in general. And then I really like fantasy, definitely number 2, and I think creative nonfiction is probably my 3rd favorite genre. Not nonfiction in general, like personal essays. I really enjoy those. I think I'd have to say that for sure. Okay, number 13, borrow or buy. Kind of smack in the middle with that, because I borrow all of my audiobooks. I don't buy any audiobooks. I borrow them all from the library, but I tend to buy a lot of physical books. I don't rent physical books from the library very often, unless I'm at school and teaching, in which case I borrow for my classroom teaching pre-K. I borrow about 50 books a week, which is kind of a lot, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. Number 14, character or plot? Good question. Probably character, but also this is kind of a weird one because, like, they say that literary fiction are things that don't have a lot of plot, and it's really just like a character study, but at the same time, that is the plot, and I don't know. I disagree with people who would say that a character study is a book without plot, because I think that the study of the character is the plot, and the character's development is the plot. So, like, yes to both. And number 15 is long or short books. I'm kind of in my long book era right now. Like, with this whole reading challenge for myself of it being page numbers as opposed to like a certain number of books, I kind of am gravitating toward longer books. So yeah, longer books. Number 16, long or short chapters. Okay, so definitely short chapters. However, I don't mind long chapters that have like section breaks in them. So I'm currently reading, I don't have it with me. Well, I have the, well, going back to the hardcover thing. So see, I have the dust jacket here that I took off. So I Leave It Up to You by Jinwoo Chong. This has longer chapters, but within the chapters there are several section breaks, and I really like it when that's done. Because I like following a longer overarching theme, but I like having clear stopping points. So, yeah. Now, number 17, name the first 3 books you think of. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay. The Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos. The Sleeping Children by Anthony Passaron, and Horizon by Barry Lopez. 18. Books that make you laugh or cry. I definitely prefer books that make me laugh, for sure. Yeah, not a lot to say beyond that. 19. Our world or fictional worlds. Well, technically all of them are fictional worlds, so I guess this was maybe like nonfiction versus fiction, so I'm going to say fictional worlds. 20. Audiobooks, yes or no? Yes, obviously I read a lot of audiobooks. Number 21. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Yes. Let me just turn this here. You can see that book is one that I bought alone just by looking at him, just by looking at it. As a matter of fact, that was one that I selected solely on what its cover looked like, and now I'm out of focus. Can we try again? Can we do that? Thank you. So yeah, that's only by its cover. So yes, and it turned out to be one of my favorite books of all time. So clearly, it can work sometimes. Number 22, book to movie or book to TV adaptations. I think at the end of the day, I like to, at the very least, hate watch. Like with The Wheel of Time. That has been a fun one to hate watch. And then also The Rings of Power. That's another one that I have enjoyed hate watching. Okay, next is 23. A movie or TV adaptation you preferred. There was one. What is it? They say rapid fire, but this one is pretty challenging. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull it off the top of my head, to be honest. I can say that, oh, okay. Kiki's Delivery Service in the Studio Ghibli sphere. I read the translation of that book. The author's name is Eiko Kadano, and it was translated by somebody who very clearly knew how to translate, like more verbatim, and didn't really know how to write, and so the actual translation of the book was pretty bad. but even still, like, it felt more like of a collection of short stories, and there were just very small vignettes of Kiki's life in the city of Koriko, but Miyazaki put it into a more linear narrative to where he combined a lot of the things that happen in the book and sort of made a more cohesive story out of it. So I do prefer the Kiki's Delivery Service movie adaptation of the book. So there we go. That's a good one. It's actually my favorite movie of all time too. So clearly I do really like it. And last but not least is number 24, series or standalones. I tend... So the thing that I don't think I have a preference between the two of these, to be honest. I really like the Discworld because not only it is a series of novels, but all of them can stand alone, more or less. Like, you will miss some things, you might be a little confused about certain things, but you can read them pretty much willy-nilly, and you will get a complete story out of it no matter what. But if you want to know more, there is more there. I think series tend to have a lot of pressure, not only on you, the reader, but also the author to deliver on the conclusion. So, and there are definitely situations where I end up purchasing the first book and the second book in a series and then just like never reading the second book, and it just sits there on my shelf because I'm attracted by the shiny bright new thing. So I don't know. I think I obviously tend to read more standalones, but I do also love a good series. Like, I'm definitely going to be picking up the next book in the Tainted Cup series. It's coming out this year. I don't remember what it's going to be called. And I do love The Locked Tomb. So, like, I don't have a preference between the two. I like both standalones and series. So, I don't know what to tell you. Tag others. I feel like this is the spot of the tags that I tend to fail with because I don't ever tag specific individuals aside from just a general call, an open call to submission. So if you have a channel, you should do this tag. Or if you're watching this tag, you should participate with the tag in the comments and respond to it as with your responses, because I tend to be really slow when it comes to tags, and I think they tend to make the rounds by the time I get to them. So anyway, if you have a booktube channel and you would like to do this tag, consider yourself tagged. If I see any channels that have not done this tag yet, I will be tagging them in the description box. But for now, that is all I have for you. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again very soon in another video. And until then, take care. Bye.